Hey, what's up, guys? This is going to be our guide to Baleroc Heroic. This fight is kind of tough on 10-man. I think the damage check is really tight. It might be tighter than it is on 25, actually, which I guess makes sense because you have less people, so each person has more responsibility. We are 3-healing it with 1 tank. We have tried basically every strat in the book. We tried to 2-heal it with 1 tank. We tried to 2-heal it with 2 tanks. We didn't try to 3-heal it with 2 tanks because that doesn't make sense because you're not going to hit the enrage. But basically, there's a bunch of ideas that I can kind of pitch to you for you to try for your group, see if it works out for you. But the reason that we end up 3-healing it with 1 tank is because we don't have a Shadow Priest or a Feral Druid in this group. So Shadow Priest is nice because they can soak 1 crystal fully alone, and you can stack up your stacks really high as a healer. And Feral Druid is nice because they can off-tank pretty effectively while still bringing decent damage, right? If you don't have a Feral Druid, you don't have a Shadow Priest, this can be a little bit tougher. So that's why we 3-healed it, and that's why we weren't able to get it down until this week. Because we just didn't have the damage. We were hitting the enrage, right? So right here, basically the way that the fight's going to work is Baelroc, when he attacks the tank, is going to put a stack, I think it's called Blazing Power or something, Blaze of Glory, and it's going to give the tank increased maximum HP. That's going to stack throughout the entirety of the fight. This is going to allow him to survive the hits from Inferno Blade. When Baelroc is basically just cranking into the tank, he's going to do a lot of damage. But the caveat is that every maybe minute or so, he is going to cast an ability called Decimation Blade, which will make his next 3 attacks hit the tank for 90% of his HP. Flat, it cannot be mitigated, and it's 90% minimum, or it's a 250k minimum or something like that. So you need to have at least 2 stacks of Blaze of Glory if you're an off tank and you're going to be taking this. And that's a strat that a lot of people will do if you have that Feral Druid. Basically what he can do is he can start the fight with Baelroc. He'll get 2 stacks of Blaze of Glory, get above that 250k HP mark, and then that way, when the other tank taunts over, the Druid can always take the Decimation strikes, and then the other tank will, or the main tank will always take the Inferno strikes. That's important, and we'll explain that in a moment. So, what's going on with the healers right now? The healers basically are going to start the fight by dumping heals into your first Crystal Soaker. So this guy needs to be standing near the crystal. He'll be soaking the damage for it. Ideally, you have somebody like a prop or a rep pally right here. In this case, he can take a lot of stacks. If you have a Shadow Priest, he can take basically the full crystal. The way that you can do that is you let the Shadow Priest go up to 14 stacks, then you hand a sack him, and then he'll ride out the hand of sack, and then after the hand of sack, you will use he will use his dispersion at around 20-ish stacks, and then basically he'll clear the entire crystal alone. This is really nice for healers because the higher the stacks the person that you're healing, the more stacks of this spark that you're going to get. I know, it's really confusing. Basically, this spark is necessary because this is going to make it so when you're healing the tank, you'll heal the tank for more. The tank has a shit ton of extra max HP that we already went over, so this is really important that you're stacking this up so that you can heal the tank. But you can't stack it while you're healing the tank, so that's where the difficulty in healers comes in. So this is why 3-healing it is nice. Basically, what we're doing is I am going to be healing with our Disc Priest, and we will start the fight by we're going to get a bunch of stacks off of this first guy when the tank's not taking too much damage. He's going to pop defensives and stuff, I assume, to live. And then, basically, after this first crystal goes away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap to tank healing. And you're going to see my weak aura right here when I swap to tank healing right here. So I'm at 53 stacks. That's pretty decent. He starts his Inferno Blade, the first one. And now my buff is consumed, or put on hold, rather, is a better way to put it. And now I can start healing the tank. Everyone always says consumed. It makes it sound like you're going to lose your stacks. You keep your stacks, so when you go back, you can like refresh them really easily. But you can't stack anymore. So you're going to notice the way that we do it is when I get down to 3 seconds, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag in our Disc Priest now. So what our Disc Priest was doing was he was helping to heal the crystal targets. But now what he's going to do is he's going to swap from the crystal targets to the tank. And what am I going to do? I am going to swap to healing the crystal targets. So I'm healing this guy. I'm dumping heals into him. You notice this is nice because I'm stacking my buff again. And then basically when he gets down to 3 seconds, he is going to tag me in. The healers, when we did it, we were all in a separate call, and you'll notice that in the video. This is just so we can coordinate all of these things. The crystal soakers are also coordinating stuff, so that's why we did a separate call. It's because these guys who are jumping into the crystals, they can't soak the same crystals. These guys who have the torment buff right here is what it's called. This is going to reduce your healing by 50%. It'll make you take extra shadow damage. So if you have this debuff, you can't soak, so you need to tag somebody else in. This debuff spreads, so if you run into somebody, they will get the debuff, which really sucks for healers at times, and you're going to notice that during this fight. So basically that's why we're in 2 separate calls. Unfortunately, you can't hear the people who are calling out the crystal swaps, but basically it's been coordinated. You need basically 3 groups of people who are going to swap in and out. Sometimes they're going to have to deviate, though, based off of this heroic mechanic that you see right here. It's called countdown. It's going to make it so you have to run to the target that you're linked to. And if you have a torment buff, it's going to spread to that person. I think we've heard that you can like maybe inch close and like be able to not spread it, but it's not worth the effort most of the time. I don't even know if it's possible. So, but yeah, that's kind of the whole fight is you'll just be swapping around here and doing all these things. The special thing that we do as healers, though, that made this fight infinitely easier is, like I mentioned, we have 3 healers and 2 of them are swapping between tank healing all of the time. What is that third guy doing? That third guy is our Holy Paladin, and what he's doing is he's going to beacon the tank, and he's just going to spam heals onto these crystal targets until he gets to max stacks. The max stacks is 255 stacks on this Vital Spark. Once he is at max stacks, he goes to permanently tank healing. He's going to swap his beacon between targets, but aside from that, he's just going to dump heals into the tank and just keep that guy alive. And he's also going to heal the tank during decimation strikes. Because he has the highest stacks, it's easiest for him to top him up. The difficulty that you're going to run into with a 1-tank strat on this fight is that this tank has so much health that when Decimation Blade hits, which is right now, you're going to notice that he is going to get hit for 90% of his HP. That is really hard to top up in just like 1 second, even with this buff. So you have like 1 second to top him up before they next hit. This is why Death Knights are really good on this fight too, is because he can like parry these attacks a lot of the times. So he just makes it completely negligible at times, but it's still really difficult. Like, it's a tough fight. So you're kind of like the healers and the tank are going to work together to just keep him alive. And you're going to do all these things. And then eventually, hopefully, if you guys are able to pump and do enough damage, you can get the kill. So you're going to want to watch the video and hear how we kind of call this to kind of get an idea. But just to repeat it, basically our Holy Pally, he's going to be dumping heals into the crystal targets at first. And me and the Disc Priest are going to keep alternating. We alternate at 3 seconds left on our buff to make sure that the other one has enough time to switch to him. Activate the buff. It'll take a second to activate. You need to use an ability first to proc it, and then you can do something. So you'll notice I actually mess up, I think, at times. I'll use Nature Swiftness as my first cast on the tank, and it does literally nothing because it only heals him for like 30k or something. I don't know. Yeah, just keep that in mind. You need to proc the buff, and then you need to start healing. This is going to take some reps. It takes a lot of practice to get the hang of. But once you get it, it's really not that bad of a fight, and it's a fight that gets easier with gear. It's a damage check. Like I said, we weren't meeting it for like a while, the first 2 weeks. This 3rd week, we were able to get it. But make sure that you're coming in here. If you guys aren't meeting the damage check, make sure everyone's got their 2 set, a 4 set ideally eventually. Make sure that people are using their second pot. They're pre-potting and using their second potion later on in the fight. We're lusting off rips to make sure that we have our cooldowns and trinkets and stuff available for that. Healers, do DPS if you can. Like Disc Priest does damage, and I'm using my Fire Ellie and stuff. I'm actually using my Ellie 2 set just because I'm an Ellie Shaman main, obviously, so I don't have like a Resto set anyway. But it's nice to have that permanent Fire Ellie. I'm doing about as much damage as the Disc Priest, so yeah, that could be nice as well. Basically, I don't know. That's pretty much all the optimizations I can suggest. If you're going to be a first Crystal Soaker, figure out how many stacks you can get to. Don't just freeball it every time and like go off of judgment. Like, try to understand, like, when he takes this crystal, he knows that he can get to 18, 19 stacks or whatever. And then at that point, he's not greeting for it. He's going to swap out. He knows when he's going to die. If you need to, on these Crystal Soakers, if somebody like maybe messes up and they only take a few stacks, you can use things like Hand of Sack on them, Pain Suppression, stuff like that. Basically everything, man. It's a tough fight, takes a lot of practice, but hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Watch the video if you want to hear how the healers communicate during this fight. Other than that, I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next one. Feel free to subscribe if you like this stuff, and yeah, peace.
I did talk. You should have lived there. I should have kept on healing you.
Yeah, I just didn't get any heals between Decimation Blades.
When no, Spaghetti was on you, it was just I had to stay on you there as well.
I mean, my what happened to me has nothing between them, but I know my health went up. So.
Real.
That's what I was trying to figure out, because we almost climbed out of it, but then yeah.
I'll try to inch back a little bit, Tan.
You need me to move?
No, you're good.
Inferno.
Okay.
I'm on him.
That's a 66 stacks.
Shards.
More stacks than you had all last fight.
Exactly. Let me know when to heal.
On you.
Going. You can go.
Shards. Decimation.
I have a
Pain's in.
torment.
Blade.
Helping for decimation.
Alright, I think that's my
I'm off.
system.
Go, Phil.
I have torment. I
Okay,
Can
I-
heal, though. I could. No, I go. It should be okay.
Shards.
You go.
Going now. Ooh, this might be good. I should have him. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Decimation.
I have torment. Doesn't change a thing.
Okay, I go. With spaghetti.
You're good.
Very good.
The soakers are just probably gonna need a little more help.
I'm on soakers right now. Is
I'm
this
gonna send
decimation window?
expression on him.
Yep, that's what
Yes.
was the last hit. That was the last hit.
Wow. Okay.
I parried
Okay,
the
so
first one.
I'm gonna carry you over.
you're
You,
on?
yeah, you go, crystals. You ready to swap back now?
Going.
Saul might be in danger. I don't know if he's.
Yeah.
I'm probably getting torment here.
Clear.
Yeah, I
Decimation.
torment.
Another decimation. Here we go.
Me and Tane are gonna be on iron.
Watch heck. We're good?
Shards.
Nice. I have a big heal charging up.
One more hit.
Just waiting.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Tane, you stay on iron for now.
No, I gotta get stacked still.
Okay.
I'm tormented for number 13.
I
Watch
probably
burn.
will need.
Burn safe.
I'm almost done.
Torment's gone. I can go.
Okay, go.
Shards. Inferno.
I pay. Oh, I don't have paints up. I have this. Let me know when to go in.
Go now.
Okay, I'm on iron full time.
Okay. Can you
I'm mana
mana
totem.
totem? Thank you.
Shards. Inferno.
Spaghetti, are you on iron?
I'm on iron right now.
Okay, let me know when to tap in. We'll just do things of it.
You can go
We're
now.
under our last 20%, so you know, throughput.
You're on him right now, right?
I'm just healing with us.
I'm also on it. I'm helping you guys with
Decimation?
Sim, but like I always have my
Decimation.
tank buff up. All right. Watch Ska. Watch Ska.
I have a big heal.
Ah,
coming.
fuck.
Ooh,
Parried.
Thank God.
Jesus Christ.
Parried again.
I am.
Berserk soon.
What?
We're at
Okay,
lost 4%.
kill
We're
this
at 4%.
dumbass
Keep
boss.
AFK up.
Yep.
Dump the last of your mana. Blank CDs.
Dude, that boss was easy as fuck.
Let's go. Fuck that boss, dude.
I
Easy.
agree.
Good job.
Oh my god, that was easy.
Nice.
Fucking hell, dude.
Yo, those cloth shoulder mog?
Probably.